We want to go now to Republican Senator Kelly Ayotte. She's a key member of the Senate Armed Services Committee. She joins us this morning from her home state of New Hampshire, also the home state of James Foley. Senator, what do you think of the administration's actions so far on this? What do they need to do, and what will Congress be in the mood to let the administration do if, in fact, the president decides to step up this situation?
Well, Bob, obviously in New Hampshire, the brutal murder of James Foley really brought home this week this threat that it presents to us in our country. And what I think is that a containment strategy is not going to cut it. We need a strategy to defeat ISIS. As the Secretary of Defense has described, it's an imminent threat to us. It's not like nothing we've ever seen in terms of the sophistication of this group, the funding, the territory that they control. And we need a strategy that is going to expand the airstrikes, going to support the Kurds further and the Iraqi forces, but in particular the Kurds, get them the military equipment that they are requesting, and also look at supporting more support and enhancement for the moderate opposition in Syria to deal with the sanctuaries in Syria. We have to do that if we want to defeat ISIS, as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff said this week. And then I would say also the political solution is important. We need an Iraqi government that's inclusive. We also need Muslim leaders to condemn ISIS, to make sure that they are saying that ISIS has to go. And finally, I think, Bob, we have to address as the Congress where the defense budget is right now, because there's a disconnect with sequester from the threats that we face around the world and the resources we are going to need to fight this threat.
Well, Congress is on vacation. The president's been on vacation. Let me just ask you first, the president has been under intense criticism for being on vacation while all of this happened. Do you think the criticism of him was justified?
Well, I certainly don't begrudge the president taking time for vacation, but I think there was a perception disconnect when he gave the speech, obviously, which I appreciated, saying that we needed to be relentless and also addressing the horrific terrorist murder of Jim Foley when that day after he was going golfing. So I think he has to look at the perception, but I don't begrudge him going on vacation. What I want from him is a strategy to defeat ISIS. And that's what I think we need to work together on, and he needs to lead this, because the containment aspect of it is not going to defeat them, and we're going to have to defeat them because of the threat that they face to us and they present to us.
Well, the Congress, of course, has also been on vacation. Some people have said that perhaps it's been on vacation most of the year, certainly the least productive Congress that I can recall. Do you think that Congress can be brought together and find a way to focus on this and to find a way to stage some sort of a counterattack or do something in response to what's happening there? Because it looks like this whole thing's falling apart, and this threat, as the Secretary of Defense said, is greater than ever.
Bob, I do think Congress can be brought together. First of all, it starts with presidential leadership, but the Congress has to recognize and listen to what our defense officials are saying, that this is an imminent threat, that this is a threat to us. And I know from seeing my own constituent, thinking about what happened to him, this terrorist act against our country, the threat it presents with those who have gone from America to fight in this jihad and other Western terrorists that could come and hit us. Absolutely, the Congress has to come together. And I think it starts with presidential leadership. But as a member of Congress, I think we have a responsibility to say that we're going to put the protection of this nation first, beyond partisan divide.
And you, I know, have been in contact with Mr. Foley's parents. You're going to the funeral, I guess, later on. How are they doing?
Well, they're incredible people. I mean, obviously, for any parent going through this, this pain that they feel, I mean, no one can describe that. But I've been so impressed with the way that they've handled themselves, their strength that they show, their resilience. And most of all, we can't forget that Jim Foley was a brave journalist. He was on the front lines. He had a passion for the truth. And I know that they are very proud of their son, as are all of us, for what he was doing to try to bring the truth to America about what was happening in Syria and other conflict regions. So that's really, I know, what they're focusing on. And I think that we appreciate certainly their family and the way that they have conducted themselves, and our hearts go out to them and what they are going through. No family should have to experience what they have experienced.
Well, thank you so much, Senator. Thank you.